Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
Then you go out there asking his opinions on basketball and football, and you sleep kind of like, LeBron James.
Right.
He's good.
I'm a pretty diehard MMA fan, and it's like it kills me that they will not hire one former fighter to talk about MMA, that they insist on their basketball guy, Stephen A., to be the guy that goes to MMA. And it's so I think that like they're not good at that.
Yeah, that's horrible. I agree. It's like, Stephen A. Smith is a person you need a break from. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
You got to slide to a different sport just to not to hear him, overly complaining or just yelling.
Yes, no Stephen A. is like a homeless guy on a bus that follows you everywhere. He's just always yelling at you.
Wow.
He has a voice of a guy you didn't give $1 to, and he's berating you.
Now he's negotiating somehow. He's good for a 1 minute clip, But
yeah. He's great for a 1 minute clip if you agree with him on the topic.
Right.
Like, yeah. But
unequivocally. He loves using words that's like, doesn't fit the scenario. I'm an unequivocal fan.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? Man?
Yeah, what's
absolutism.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're ready to go. I'm going to introduce the podcast. I feel like it's time. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today, another fantastic comic. You've seen him on Last Comic Standing, Shameless, Insecure, but he is with us here today, the hilarious Ricardo Flanagan. How are you doing?
I'm good, fellas. How y'all doing?
Doing really good, man. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate you doing this with us today.
Oh, man, not a problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ricardo, the first segment we do on every podcast is actually a segment that we call Fuck This Place ? Where we decide if we would work somewhere or not. So we actually looked up some Craigslist posts from Cleveland, where you are originally from Cleveland or Cleveland area?
Yeah, born and raised.
So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to take a look at a couple Craigslist posts and we'll decide whether we want to work there or not. So I'm going to read 3 titles to the posts. Okay. You're going to pick the one you don't want to click on, and then we'll look at the other 2. Does that make sense?
Okay. Sounds good. Cool.
So first title is In Search of Patriotic Programmer. Number 2 is Male Seeks Weight / Cardio Enthusiast. Typically, those 2 can be at odds. And then last one is all caps, flag sewing. So which one do you not want to click on? This patriotic programmer, this weight situation, like a gym thing, or this flag sewing post?
I'm going to pick the weight thing because it just sounds like somebody that's trying to fuck something. So.
Yeah, especially on Craigslist. It's tale as old as time, really.
Yeah. I can take the patriotism.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see the tolerance.
We'll argue with our clothes on. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you. If you don't mind.
Okay. Well, then let's go straight in for this patriotic programmer. We know. I'd say we think we know what this person is going to be about. So we'll see. Yeah. There are 2 pictures before the ad starts. Picture number 1 is a picture of the American flag, full mast. Another flag at half mast. Difficult to tell, but I think we have a little bit of a clue at the base of the pole of who this flag celebrates. And I think in picture number 2, they zoom in on the second half mast
on the
flag.
lamer flag. Yes,
lamer and way smaller.
yeah. That's Trump just flag. What I mean. The less impressive, that's
where you lost
affiliation
me, right?
Side, just a lamer flag.
Absolutely. Like even if you thought this guy was cool, you should get a bigger flag.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually kind of makes me think you don't like Trump at all.
No. That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. And if again, I'm no patriot by this person's definition, but it's my understanding that like there's rules about flags and a half-mast situation means something. Maybe it's half-mast means like bad things have happened. Maybe they think bad things have happened to this. This is like this isn't even a flag. It's really just like a banner that you would have on your wall.
Yeah.
That you've now co-opted into flag use.
Yeah.
I feel like he's trying to say Trump is limp. Like
you know, I mean, it's certainly what's happening. Whether they like it or not.
It seems like they're trying to say that Trump is the president, yet he has erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. Which honestly we would have believed.
Yeah.
Anytime in the last 15 years.
You should know.
Yeah. One is that my dick works, America. In case you was wondering.
Back to your point real quick though, Chase. I agree. There are a lot of rules about flags. I own a flag and I had it outside of my apartment, and it was like, it just got old over the years.
Yeah.
And I was immediately like, is it illegal to throw it away? I don't
it's
know.
Not illegal,
rules.
But you're supposed to burn it.
Yeah, okay. Or but that's not a crime? Because I feel like I was just like, I don't know. Is that going to look like that's a crime?
Not a crime. There's a Supreme Court case specifically that says you're allowed to burn flags. I thought that you were supposed to dispose of it through burning, not through the trash. Also, you're not supposed to print it on stuff like hats and things. Like you're not supposed to do any of that.
Yeah. I
worked at a Boy Scout camp. I wasn't an actual Boy Scout.
I was gonna just give it to a mailman or something. I was like, here, you're a patriot. I don't know how this works.
Well, you know what?
We took an oath.
You could have burned the flag. You just can't yell about something that you have an issue with.
I mean, that was Plessy. No, that was shit. I covered it for some class in high school, but it was specific. Some guy in Dallas did it. I think technically you do have a right to yell about something, but we all know what's going to happen when you do that.
Yeah, I would just get in trouble. I'd just be like burning it and just be like, man, I wish they'd bring back community, and then I'd just get arrested.
Someone's like, they've already wrung that storyline dry. Okay, so let's take a look at the text and see what this person's all about. There's not a ton of text here, but the person writes, I'm looking for someone who truly cares. Come on, dude, about the country and humanity that can periodically add content to some of my websites, plural. My websites are not e-commerce websites and do not generate any money. So this is not a paying position. But if they increase in traffic dramatically, maybe they could be turned into money generating sites, and then you could get 1%. And that's the post.
This is
that's
like
it.
The long way around of just saying it could be cool. Might be cool later though.
This guy wants you to care about America truly. And he doesn't know how America works.
You got to pay somebody in America.
Come on.
And or actually have a model, aka e-commerce, for having the website make money. Like you're just saying if it increases in traffic dramatically, you mean like full on Breitbart level of traffic. Like you have to
it sounds
so
like
much.
Saying, if we build this militia that I'm intending to build, then I'll give you some cash, you know.
Yeah.
But
not even talking,
because this seems like you're just sending it to his buddies. Really, it doesn't sound like a site that you really want to become mainstream. This sounds like some shit you just want. Don't you love America? And then you know that.
Yes.
This is a very much you're in it for the love of the game of flags.
Exactly.
And there's not a lot of love in this game, even if you love this game. Also, not even a mention of like a Patreon, or you don't have any plans for crowdfunding this.
Yeah. Looking for a serious hangout sesh.
This person definitely lives in Ohio. I'll tell you that. They are in 1996 right now.
Yeah. I should say that we didn't really point this out in our first pass, but I'm noticing it now. Behind the flag, there is a 12-passenger van.
It is the van from Silence of the Lambs. Yes.
Yeah, it's gray. It's parked right around the corner from these bushes that this flag is in front of.
That's definitely Ohio for sure.
So
he probably just got a fresh batch of people, and he just got to
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think they're trying to recruit people either to eat or to join this militia. Or just an e-militia. So yeah, I'm gonna say fuck this place. Obvious for so many reasons. But again, I would say, Ricardo, you're dead on the like. This is America. If you're not even gonna promise just some $50. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you obviously have enough money to own a 12-passenger van, a large flagpole, and 2 flags.
You got a whole floral arrangement in your front yard.
Yeah.
Multiple bushes.
That takes money to maintain, sir.
And a ladder. Look how tall this ladder is.
Oh, there's a secret ladder.
It's like
there.
a magic eye.
This is getting just worse. This is just getting...
There's a really tall ladder behind so for people who are listening and not watching, there's a super tall ladder in this like rather tall pine tree behind. What are you doing in that tree, buddy?
Yeah. There's like a secret gun.
I have a feeling we're going to see this picture later in some federal investigation.
They're going to cite our podcast.
Yeah, as the tip. You tip the feds off. Why is there a ladder in a van in this picture?
Good luck, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I'm out. I'm out for sure.
Yeah, I'm out too. I don't want this guy's going to yell at me, and I don't want to hear it. You know, like it does, and it's like to me, it rings true that he's going to yell at you even if you 100% agree with him. You know, like you could go in there, just you could say, he could yell at you, and then you could repeat his sentence right back to him and say that's exactly right, and then he'll yell at you again
at an even higher volume.
Yeah.
Damn right, boy.
Yeah, exactly. He's just an
America, boy.
Just spit in your face and stuff. You kind of, you know, and then after an hour and a half of that, when he's like completely out of gas, then you got to help him with a flag.
Yeah. You can't even get to raising the flag until you listen to his arguments.
Yeah, you both have to say. Benghazi like 100 times.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually agreeing. I echo both of your sentiments. I say fuck this place because for one, he's just gonna have me remembering like, facts I don't want to remember about a flag. It's gonna be days that the days of 39th Battalion where they had to shoot a Japanese airplane down and they had to take the airplane, they opened it up and had to beat up all the soldiers because they survived somehow. He's a real hero. I gotta figure that out. So no.
All right. Well, let's move on. Speaking of flags, we're really doubling up on flags today. The next here on the pod. The title of the next one is all caps flag sewing. And the text begins and it says no pictures. It just says, we are a growing company. Good. People that can sew are needed. Good. Can work part-time or full-time. Main job is sewing and cutting fabric. Okay. We also dye sublimate print. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure someone who's in the industry does. And soon we'll be doing embroidery. Okay. Friendly work environment. And then it says a person that can sew is needed ASAP. And then there's another little paragraph that says you need some sewing experience. If you have commercial sewing experience, that is great. Please apply. You can apply this weekend.
I feel like whoever wrote this, he or she wrote this one sentence at a time over the course of weeks. Without going back and looking at the previous sentence.
It was like one of those pen pal things where you write a sentence and then you mail it to somebody else.
Yeah, it's just like we are a growing company, and then walked away.
Yeah,
and then came back and was like, "What was this about?" Oh yeah, people that can sew needed.
Yeah. I also like that at the end. It sort of the desperation increases. Like it says, well, you need some sewing experience. Like if you have experience, that's great. Please apply. And then why not? Why not apply this weekend? Why not now? Why not?
This feels like a assignment they gave a child, and they didn't really know anything about flag sewing. So okay. Embroidery, right? That's what. That's something, right? That's what they do. Embroider stuff, right? So.
Yeah, you're right. This is either that or you ever use those or see those when you said poem, I thought about on the refrigerators when they have the magnetic poetry. It's like somebody took a Craigslist post of this and then just took sentences and just sort of rearranged them into something that looks like a flag sewing company. I do think there's a chance that this is real. I think, I'm just thinking of the manager of a flag sewing company hard to picture, but that like they really are busy, you know, and they do type something on a word processor like 97.
This makes me want to go. I want to go. I want to kind of go there and apply for this job. I really want to just show up. Just because, first of all, this is in Willoughby, Ohio, and there are no Black men over 6 feet in Willoughby, Ohio. So
you're saying at like they cap out at like 5'9"?
Probably non-existent in Willoughby.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
yeah. That makes sense.
So So that I would love to see if I could just get this job for one, and for two, I just want to show up to work every day and just blow everybody's mind in that whatever that facility is, because I know that's all they're talking about at lunch. Like, we got a Black guy sewing our flag. You believe it?
I don't know if it's a real facility to me. I was imagining a house that smells like cigarettes. Is like where like
right,
this.
Okay.
It's like I feel like this is just like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're a growing company, as in we just hired one other guy. That technically makes you a growing company.
Right.
Yeah, this is definitely in the backyard somewhere.
Yeah. Just like
you sew it at a park bench. Like they got those they got those picnic tables in the backyard, and you just all choose a corner of the picnic table and just sew tiny flags.
I do, although I will say maybe it's just because where we just came from, but I do kind of wonder, like, what flags are you sewing?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm sure there is a business of, people buy flags. You go to Walmart, there's flags.
Yeah, there's a lot of countries out there. I know there's flags.
Well, I'm also talking about, how people hang like and this is maybe more of a Willoughby white person thing. When people hang they don't hang country flags anymore. They just hang like butterflies. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's just a flag with like a butterfly on it because it's spring now.
Yeah.
Or you hang it from your mailbox or something. Those kind of flags. Those are also flags.
Taking requests, or is it just like I guess a caterpillar? I guess that's what also.
Well, I feel like you could bring your own creative flair.
Mm-hmm. Sure. It's weird to me that it's negotiable pay.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot to mention that. There's compensation is negotiable.
So it's like, what? Based on what? Like how good you are at sewing, how much you love, how many flags you know how to sew?
I think if you have commercial sewing experience, you might have a ballpark.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Well, I can envision them saying during the compensation, like negotiation, I can hear them saying, you want to give money in a place where you can get unlimited flags? You can get a flag of anything you want. How would you want to make money?
But what if I gave you more flags? They're like blankets.
Yeah. Get enough flags together, you got a quilt.
You got a whole quilt. Come on,
flags work as insulation. They used to use newspaper for that.
I can make you everything out of a flag.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna say fuck this place only because I don't have any commercial sewing experience, and I know they're gonna DQ me. I'm not gonna be able to fake it. I don't think there's any. I don't have any tricks. In that.
Yeah. Not gonna show up dressed as an old lady.
Yeah. Yeah, with like a bonnet.
Dressed up looking like a golden girl.
Well, I'm going there. I'm gonna wear a defund the police shirt. See if I can do it.
Yeah, I mean that needs they need flags too.
Come on,
flag sewing guy.
Diversify here your options. You want to make money, don't you?
Let's talk about market share.
Yeah, there's flags for everything.
I'm still out. I also feel like there's gonna be a lot of barking dogs.
German Shepherd.
Just something really just real loud in my ear. So I'm out.
Yeah. All right. Well, fuck those places. Although Ricardo, I wish you the best. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470-BAD-JOBS. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird like temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
And you want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470 bad jobs.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
Ricardo, what's the first job you ever had?
Oh man, let me see. So the very, very first, this is I would count this because I got paid. So one summer, my mother, because I was having too much fun, I guess, the summer before. So the next summer, my mother made me get a job at a rec center as a janitor. I was about, I think I was about maybe 13, 14 years old. But like I had to go get like a work permit.
Okay, wait, just real quick. Okay, because that's very hilarious to me. So it's like you were having. My first question: what kind of fun were you having to where your mom was like, "I'm gonna make sure you get the least fun job on the planet"?
Because that's a huge drop.
That's a big drop in fun.
I mean, it could have been last summer you were at that pool, like cannonball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just like, you know.
Now you're just getting all that chlorine in your face, just trying to clean it.
I had a single mom, so I think I was having a fun that didn't bring any money in the house. So,
okay. You're just going too hard.
Yeah. You are eating all my food, playing video games. You gotta get out of here.
Right. Any amount of fun that doesn't involve a net return is too much.
Yeah. Costing her money. I'm playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out, so you know I'm running that bill up.
Got it. Okay, so she made you get this job in particular, or you chose this job, from a list that she provided?
My mom is one of those people who just knows how, knows about all these programs and things you can do. So one day she just sprung it on me too. It was like a surprise. Just she like, hey, surprise, you got to go fill this application out, and then they're gonna, you got 3 choices of a job through this program. So I had to go to the janitorial because she made me do the janitorial job because it was closer to the house.
Okay. So you could walk there?
So I could walk,
or bike there?
Yeah, one of the two, and so she was like, well, that way I can keep tabs on you, but you got to get out of here this summer. And it was 5 days a week, weekends off. So
all right.
Man. That was
full on man job.
I know, it's a man job you had to get right away. So how many hours a week do you remember roughly? I mean, like a day rather. Sorry.
So it was like 4 hours a day.
Okay.
And then the last hour I would just be down there playing basketball.
Yeah. All right.
Getting it in. You're still getting fun in.
Yeah, she's not gonna stop me. As much as you try, you're not gonna stop me from doing what I need to.
You were like, Mom, I'm a grown man. I'm gonna have fun. I'm working this grown man job.
Yeah. I'm 13. What do you think is gonna happen? You think I'm gonna be serious about something at 13?
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm the oldest 13-year-old here, okay?
I had a goatee and everything. I had cigarettes. I had problems outside of work. Every time I saw my coworkers in the morning, I said, you guys don't know what it's like in the real world.
Yeah, like every time you walk into work, you go like, one of those old men.
I slammed I didn't even have a car, but I just slammed the car door every time I all right, you guys don't know what it's like.
Were you the only janitor guy, or were you on a team of people? Or what's the gig? How big is it?
I did the janitorial work, and then so I had all the keys to everything. Mm-hmm. So I was the only one, and then other people did like administrative work, and I just was, I was mopping wherever they said mop. The bathroom, oh my God, deplorable.
Yeah, real bad. I mean, I assume that's your primary, every day you're doing the bathroom, and then it's everything else on rotation or something.
These kids just had no etiquette on the bathroom. They just was like, I guess this bathroom was a bathroom that just made them feel free,
Oh, definitely. I do think that, there is, especially to the elementary, but I would say even middle school age.
Yeah.
There is like a there is a massive like switch.
Yeah.
I would guess, and maybe you have some observations of this, that the boys' bathroom is pretty severe in its difference from the girls' bathroom.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The girls' bathroom is almost untouched.
Yeah.
It's almost like nobody was in there. And in the boys' bathroom, it's literally like everybody was in here. And it's they got hieroglyphics on the wall in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, I remember when I was in kindergarten, I didn't go to preschool. And so kindergarten was like my first time in school. I think I remember the first time we went into the bathroom and it was like we were in a line, like a single file, like walk. And the second we rounded the corner, it was like the whole world exploded. Like people were taking, doing like spitballs. They were like getting toilet paper and just like flinging it against the ceiling. People were just like pissing in 360. Like it was wild.
We are so different. Like we just like, we're disgusting. Like we just like, we try to find humor in urination and
desperately looking for it. Yeah.
It would be funny if I smeared this shit on your face.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
Yeah, dude. Boys are mostly made of buttholes, and they just fucking go. They use all their buttholes.
What is it that enthralls us with that first discovery, like that first shit, that first conscious shit you take, where you were just like, wait a minute, I'm shitting. I'm not this. This is.
I go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead, Chase.
No, you go for it.
I was gonna say, like, I've always been weird about public restrooms. Like, even as a kid in elementary school, I was really weird. Like, I could never take a shit in there, and
it's no fun.
But it was it wasn't for me. But I always found it hilarious when other people took a shit in there, and I never like I might bust their balls or whatever for taking a shit, but I was always just like, dude, you're a fucking hero, dude. I don't know how you do that.
Well, it's like putting a shit in a war zone.
Yeah. I'm like the mental
you're in the
it
trenches.
takes to take a fucking fat dump in the fucking elementary school bathroom,
because your adrenaline is running so high.
Yeah. It feels like what wire do I cut? That's how it feels taking a dump in a public restroom,
Yes.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of pressure in there, man. The bathroom was also dangerous. Like plenty of people have gotten their ass whooped in public bathrooms.
Absolutely.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. It's almost like
to think whatever scenario that happens in bathrooms, especially in like elementary, like public school bathrooms of any kind, like fights, kids will get jumped, drug deals, all that stuff, and you're dumping, like you're just putting yourself in and you're dumping. That's what you're doing. Scenario. It's like when when during the Tyson fight, when the guy came in on the fan.
Oh yeah.
It was just like, what the fuck is that? Like, you're dumping while this kid's getting his ass beat. Man,
there's so much happening while you're shitting. You're just taking a dump, and then the world is exploding around you. You're just like, oh man, I don't want them to see me in here.
Just please God.
Well, then add to that, I don't know what the situation with this bathroom was, but I remember at least a couple different sets of bathrooms where the doors were not on the stalls. Like the door privilege was revoked.
That is so
and I remember kids shitting door open.
Oh. That's so
looking at Chase, fucking eye contact, fucking staring at him through the back of his fucking head.
That is so wrong. Why would you do that to somebody? Like the kids, especially. You gonna make a kid take a shit with an open door? At home, I can see it because kids are wild, but at school,
people can throw stuff at you from more than one angle. Like they can already throw stuff at you when the door is closed. But when the door's open,
gonna disturb you. They're
like bowling.
Disturb you. You shit. You need peace when you're doing that because you got to get it over with. But they're gonna disturb the process. It's almost inevitable.
So I'd rather take a shit in the woods.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, 100%.
But I mean, like
as an adult,
broad daylight. Just whatever. But
I'd rather take a shit in the woods with the chance of being caught.
I mean that's more serene in the woods. It's kind of the wind is blowing and it's a lot of relaxing scenery.
And also, I'd say another very important point. I'd say this extends into adulthood. If you have to shit in the woods, you really gotta go, right? So it always
Yeah,
goes a
yeah.
little smoother than any other scenario because you're like, no, it's happening. We're
Oh,
doing
yeah,
this.
sure.
But
Oh, yeah.
but looping
It
back
was
to this,
already on the way out anyway.
correct. Yes, you're just making an educated choice about where it goes.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah, that dump's got you by the collar.
Yeah.
out of
Like, take
curiosity,
me now.
for this job, was there other bathrooms that like you could use, or were these bathrooms the only bathrooms
No,
for the rec center?
it's hilarious. So there's a guy there. His name was Slim. He was real tall. He had a Jerry curl. And he had like a gold chain. He always wore his polo tucked in his jeans, and he had like these gaiters on. So he had like an office but it was private. It was like, that's my, don't go in there. Don't worry about that in there. I got the keys, and you don't need to go in there for no reason. So he had his own, but I couldn't use that. I would have to use the public. But I knew one thing you always do when it comes to public bathrooms, there's like a spot you can go to that nobody goes to. So I used to go to the downstairs bathroom. Nobody knew it, but it was a bathroom.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
There's always a better bathroom.
Always secret bathroom. Yeah.
Always. And
it usually involves stairs. You're right.
Yeah. Oh, no. You almost have to, because you just don't want to be disturbed. That's like the whole motivation. You know what I'm saying? So they was in the basketball court downstairs. There was like a partial locker room where they would just put the balls in there. But behind the third locker, there was a door you can go in, and it was like a toilet in there. It was already clean. Yeah. I think it was like a unspoken thing, like it was like a club type bathroom. Like if you in this association, you can get in this bathroom. You know what I mean? Like
be cool.
Know where it is.
Yeah, if you know where it is, you're cool.
It had a plant in there. It was a nice big plant in there. So it was
nice.
Yeah, it was like it's like one of those big. It was almost like those elephant ear type plants.
Wow.
Tall,
significant
nice, tall
plant.
Yeah, it was really, it was one of you focus on the plant, and then next thing you know, you finish.
You're good to go.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal.
That really is like a full-on spa transformation.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real. It was. It had its perks there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Especially as opposed to like the knife fight that was going on in the other bathroom.
Oh yeah, for sure. There was definitely like some gang activity in that wreck. This is in this is on a street called Harvard, Lee and Harvard. So Harvard, their rival was Kinsmen, who went to the same school. So during the summer, they would be fighting, and then they would come in there. Actually, you know what's crazy? This is something that a lot of people don't know about gangs. Sometimes gangs, not all gangs beef with each other. Sometimes gangs, like, they get together and play basketball and football. Like they have almost like gang charity games. You know what I'm saying? Like,
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dog. They used to they would come in there and play each other. So Harvard and Kinsman would come in there and play basketball against each other. And man, sometimes that didn't always work to in the best way.
Right, it comes together as a charity game, but it doesn't always end as a charity game.
Not because it was somebody fouled somebody too hard, and then they in there like they got to discuss it in the parking lot. So
yeah.
A lot of fights, but it was actually fun, man. That was like one of the that was like my first job, but it was temporary because it was only in the summer until school. And then I ended up getting a job in like ninth grade. That was full time, but that was my first. I would say I had to report. I got a paycheck.
So you do that for a couple summers, or just one summer?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Can you tell me more about this Slim character? This actually, that was a very interesting intro for a guy, like the way he was dressed and the fact that he was like, you don't go into Slim's restroom. Yeah, I feel like he's a guy who's like in his restroom is very fragrant, and he's like humming a song also about a guy named Slim.
Slim was a player. Slim. He had a nice gold chain. The Jerry curl wasn't like a lot of other people's Jerry curls because it was always like real moist. But it wasn't dripping. It was just because he's in the era.
Perfect Jerry curl.
Perfect. It was the perfect Jerry curl. Because keep in mind, he's in the wrong era to have this Jerry curl also. Because this is in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have a Jerry curl. You're supposed to have that in the 80s, and then some people didn't transition. They kept the Jerry curl, And then they later transitioned to finger waves, but he actually did in the mid 90s. But that was the early 90s, and he had a full on Jerry curl. He had a gold tooth, he had it was just the fang though that was gold. It was one.
He had a gold fang.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. He always doing like this.
Oh, Slim goes kind of hard.
Oh, Slim was, he was a player, man. He had a caddy. He had a one of those long Cadillacs. It was purple with the black interior. He had the white wall tires. He was a player, man.
Whoa! And he's a what? Is he in a what was his job? What was his role at this?
When he wasn't a pimp, he was a what?
It was in my high school. It was actually 2 pimps. I'll tell you about that guy later. But Slim was head of security.
Oh wow! Okay.
So yeah, he had money. He was doing well for himself. When you what you can do, like if you live in the hood and you got a good job. It's really pretty women in the hood. So you definitely you winning. You definitely
you're doing good.
You in the community. He's also a part of the community because he does security. All the kids. So when I used to drive a daycare bus, I used to know all the mothers. It was like the craziest.
Right.
People go to the Bumble. They use Bumble and Tinder. It was like the best pool of women I've ever been a part of. I don't think I've ever done better in that era.
Nice.
Wow, so Slim was just cleaning up. No wonder. I mean, he needed his own bathroom.
Dude, man. Dude, that gold fang is tight.
Bro, gold fang. Sometimes he'd be wearing these rings, like a fat silver ring, but it was real shiny. He was a player, man. It was another dude. He had I think they called him I think he called him Goldie or something like that, but he had a green Mercedes. He had like a green Mercedes Benz and finger wave, and his eyes were like real light. He had like hazel eyes. Yeah, man. He was, yeah. He was, but they was head of security. They had that school. I remember when they came too, because the school was actually really violent at that time, and then they hired Slim, and then that violence just stopped.
Really?
Whoa!
It literally subsided. Like it was because it was some rival gangs in there, because they had closed a school called John Adams, which was the rival gang, and then they brought them all to John F. Kennedy, where I was. So when Slim came, he curbed that whole thing.
I mean, did Slim have a way? Did he just sort of look at people and like, all right, come on, and then that was it? Or
show him the fang.
Slim had a team. He had a team. He had his starting 5. It was Slim. What was his name?
Was Goldie?
Yeah, I think it was. I can't remember his name though. It was Goldie, and then he had Bowlegs. Bowlegs was he was built like Wesley Snipes in the 90s.
Okay.
But he had bow legs?
He had bow legs.
Okay. Wesley Snipes with bow legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was like Black Panther, dog. He was a big. He was a huge dog. He played basketball. Then they had they had this old dude. He was big though. He was like a how Rob Reiner looks?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
He was like a black Rob Reiner.
Okay.
Just a big dude. Big dudes like Rob Reiner is just a jolly dude. But he big, his hands were huge, dog. He's like, so nobody messing with him. You know what I'm saying? You had Curly who had a limp. But he, if you see him coming after you, he moving with that limp. He can move. I'm talking like he was.
Because he's using the momentum.
Yeah.
He would hoist
himself forward.
He would slide out the chair. He was like slide out the chair and just start wobbling towards you. But it was the fastest wobble you ever seen in your life.
Yeah. He had like a gun in his bad leg that shot a net.
Yeah, basically.
Exactly. He had an eye patch. He just like lifted up to fake people out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. He trust me. He wasn't handicapped. He just I think he caught one. He caught a bullet in his hip.
Oh my God.
That's what. That's why he had that limp. But he had a nice starting 5 at John.
Yeah. That's pretty hardcore.
So basically, he just, you put any of those people in a room, and you're just like, I think we should be cool, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Why don't we all be cool now?
Yeah, for sure. Especially bow legs. 'Cause bow legs have muscles, bro. So he could pound you out. You know what I'm saying? You can't. There's nothing you could do with him. There's nothing you could do. I told him to shut up one time, and he came and grabbed me by the back of my shirt and took me down to the office. And I'm talking like I'm trying to get out of it, and I'm dangling. That's how. Yeah. You didn't mess with any of them dudes.
Wow. Yeah, bow leg sounds pretty scary too. That's pretty good.
Yeah, bow leg.
That's pretty good. So this whole time, so these are the people at your school, and then you're also just like, you're changing paper towels. You're just kind of like doing your own thing, and then
the school is connected to this community center. Is that?
Yeah, it was the school was right next to it. It was like a big parking lot, then the rec center, then the school right over here.
Got it. And so this is all like Slim's jurisdiction, so to speak.
Oh yeah, fact. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh wow.
Slim was connected. Let's put it that way. He definitely.
Yeah, Slim sounds dangerous. I kind of hope he doesn't hear this.
Hey, Slim, if you're listening, we're cool.
Yeah, I think you're cool. All right, that's all I've said about you. I think you're really cool. I'm really into that gold fang thing. I like to think that he pulls that gold chain off, and the fang is like somehow attached to it, and it's like a whip. Yo,
if that is true, he is the greatest man of all time.
Yeah, and there's like a rival out there who's got a big scar across his face from where Slim got him with the gold fang. Yeah, that's pretty tight.
I'm pretty sure that's the true story because there's plenty wars like that. So
yeah, I don't know if the people who made WandaVision are listening to this, but there's your angle right there.
Yeah.
New set of heroes here.
There you go. Get Slim in there, man.
So you did a couple summers with Slim and the gang, and then you moved on in 9th grade to a totally different job.
Yes, this was a worse job actually. I worked at a barbecue.
Okay.
A restaurant in the middle of the hood. It's called Whitmore's. And what's funny is the whole staff, most of the staff were functioning drug addicts. This is crack, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is like, one time this dude, his name was, Spud. I just say that his name is Spud.
Okay.
And he was a real nice dude. I'm talking, he would come to work he would be there out of a month, he would be there 28 days.
Damn.
But 2 days out that month, he was gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't gonna find him until after those 2 days was over.
Until he surfaced.
Yeah, but they started getting on him because he would always choose the wrong days, like the weekend. When it was busy.
Yeah.
So he started, staying there. He because they had his money, so he was all right. So he started coming to work basically every day. One day I saw this dude. I mean, his eyes. I've never seen eyes that red since. I mean, they were beaming. It almost looked like lasers were about to come out of his eye, but he had just, I'm young, so I didn't know, but I found out later that he had just got through shoving a bunch of coke in his nose. So he was like, he was beaming in there. Yeah, man, it was like a lot of prostitution around there. So like, I'm 14, 15 years old, man, and women in there, running up on me, asking me if the first time that happened, I was in the kitchen. I was leaving. I was about to leave. I had come in there to get something called a paid out, which was, they give you a little, that was the payday advance in the 90s. So I was leaving and this girl comes up to me. She looked like she was about maybe in her mid-20s or something like that. She had on like a scarf. And she was like, anybody that needs some head? And I was like, huh? What is that? Because I didn't know, you know what I mean?
Because you were a 9th grader.
I was 9th grade. I was Jehovah's Witness, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know none of that stuff. So,
just real quick, I'm into this, but what are you doing at this place? What is your day-to-day while you're interacting with like these people now, with this set of characters?
So I was actually what you call, I started off cutting potatoes. I would cut potatoes on the weekends. Early in the morning, I would just go and make fries, basically like buckets of fries.
Just prep.
Just prepping. And then I graduated to become what's called a cutter, which you would go and make the orders. And they had great food. I'm talking like this food was, famous citywide. People, even celebrities, when they came in town, they would come and get food out of it.
Okay. Because
they had this sauce. It was a sauce that was amazing. It was like, was sweet. But not too sweet. And it was like perfect. It was the perfect companion to the chicken, to the ribs, to the fries, everything. But I would make orders basically. So they had everything set up. They had a whole front and a counter. You would take that order and then go in the back to the tray, pull out the food. Let's say they wanted wings. So you pull out the wings and, put it in there, set the dinner up. Man, I ate so much food out of that place. Like, I really don't even know how much. Like, by the time I left that place, I was a good 300, plus.
Okay.
So you're cutting fries, and then this woman is just like, hey, this guy looks like maybe he knows who wants to get their dick sucked.
Yeah. And she just decided to, she decided to see if I was that guy, but I wasn't.
Oh, okay. You were like, no, thanks.
I was like, no, I don't know. Maybe I can get somebody else if you want to.
You looking for a referral?
I'll ask around.
Yeah, I'll see if they're interested. I don't know.
Hey, gang.
Hey guys, I got somebody offering some head in the front. I don't know. Interested, but well, plenty of those people were interested on that staff. So I'm sure she got what she was looking for.
Got it.
So wait, so just to clarify, because we typically ask people their first job and their worst job. You said this was a worse job than the job. Would you say this is your worst job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, great. We're good. We're good. Just want to make sure we're settled in.
Yeah. I would say so, because it was.
So how did you get this job? Like, how did you transition from kind of like a decent situation playing basketball? I assume you needed more money because you needed more time.
Yeah, for sure. You get older, you need tennis shoes.
Yeah.
You got to buy them, yourself. So, but I actually knew the owner. I grew up. They knew me since I was a baby, and as I got older, he came up to me and said, "Hey, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I go to school." And he's like, "Well, you need a job." So he started training me. I guess he just needed somebody, and that's how I started. I actually used to go out to his house when I would cut potatoes, because I would go on a Saturday. He'd come pick me up at like 4 a.m, and I go to the barbecue. I cut the potatoes, and then I would go out to his house, and he had a really nice house. And I would cut his grass, and then later I would do whatever his wife wanted me to do.
Okay.
Which in hindsight, I found out that was his way of distracting his wife so he can get his work done. But I'm oblivious to it because I'm young.
Just having you around to like order you to do stuff was like.
Yeah. I used to do the weirdest stuff for her. Like he would take me in the woods, and I would I would chop a tree or like bring the wood from the woods to the front so she could put it in the fire. One time she made me put these mannequin legs in the front. She made me put these mannequin legs in the front yard, like they were sticking out. And her neighbors had a fit. I'm talking like, I don't know if you ever had like some communities you live in, the neighbors are really active in that community.
Yeah,
like,
sure. Yeah.
Hey, well, we need to know what the deal is. And so the lady came from across the street. She's like, "What the?" I'll never forget it. "What the fuck do you have those legs sticking out of the ground for? Do you know how to make this neighbor look? It looks bad." And she was just like, "Well, you threw that raccoon in the front of my yard, so I decided to respond." And,
with legs.
With
Did she throw a raccoon in the yard?
No, that raccoon got ran over in that area.
Okay.
Oh, and they it was in the road, and maybe like somebody kind of shoveled it over.
Yeah. And she took it as a sign of things to come. So
she started to understand why this dude is trying to keep her distracted. Like, she obviously needs things to do.
Yeah, for sure. So she, I helped her. And most of it was gardening, but sometimes like 95% of it was good, and then the 5% of it would get really weird. It would be like, why am I doing this? But then I found out why. So I'm glad.
So this is a transition over how long a period? Would you say that you moved from more restaurant work to more like pulling wood out of the woods work?
Yeah,
or like it just sort of went on that trajectory.
Yeah, I did that for about maybe. I think I was doing that for about 3 years.
Okay, so 3 years is a long enough time to sort of slowly adapt to
Yeah.
I thought I was cutting potatoes, like,
uh-huh.
you show up at the place a couple times a week for a few months, and then it's like, oh, we're going to bring you over there all the time now. And you're like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was, it was just money. It was like, hey, I got money. You give me money, I can go buy some shoes with it and some clothes. So all right, I'll do whatever. But then I got too old to do it, and then I kind of got tired of it. I was just like, man, this is it's enough of this. I need to go ahead.
Yeah,
And
you don't need to be in the middle of this raccoon mannequin leg feud.
Yeah, no, that was a feud that lasted longer than you expect.
Yeah, and that's a feud that's been there since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's still going on, and it'll be going on long after we're all dead.
Yeah.
Yo, that you don't even know how right you are. It's true.
Okay, well, I guess, so you got old enough, and you were just like, I'm tired of this person basically just bossing me around, right? I mean, that's what it is.
Doing aimless things, like, what are we doing? Like, I'm
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it pays well, but I'm like, yo, I'm not. These woods are vast woods, so it's it's animals in there. One day I'm not an animal guy. Like, I'm not one of those people that I'm trying to see a bear or something in the woods. Like, I'm not the majestic qualities of an animal. I'll catch that on National Geographic. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be standing in the woods. She used to camp in the woods. She had a chair. She had like a nice lounge chair out there and would just sit out there. And I'm like, why are you sitting in the woods?
It sounds like this person needed a job. You didn't need a job. She did.
She was too great. She was great at everything. First of all, she was a beautiful woman. One of the nicest people you ever want to meet. She was. I don't even know how to describe her intelligence. Like, she was so intelligent. Like, they used to want her to be a ambassador for the UN. Okay. But she didn't want to do it. Yeah. But
who would?
I'm talking, this is an incredible person. So, and then now she's probably in her 50s, maybe late 40s, early 50s at this time. So, she's done it. Like, there's nothing else to do. She lives in a nice place. He had like an 8-car garage, man.
Right. They're loaded.
She just had to find things to do, because it's like, how many more books can you write? How many more, I don't know. And then, this is a time when she was kind of she was transitioning to a different kind of mental state where, because that's what happens to most of us when we get old. We kind of check out on some level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She kind of just, she was just kind of moving her way over toward checking out in certain aspects, and that's.
So she did not need a job then.
No,
not maybe to a degree, but she was just. This is like literally one of the greatest people I've ever met.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, she was just such a dynamic person that, she probably should have just did more, but, the time had taken her, her mind, you know what I mean? Like, it just had taken it. So that was just what it was going to be. That was actually, even though it's hilarious and I didn't want to do it anymore, but it was the best for her. You know what I mean? Like, I was able to help her focus and channel her energy in a way where it wasn't harmful.
Yeah. Like, you're whenever you show up, you're the guy who's looking for projects, and so she has to orient her mind towards, okay, well, what are we gonna do instead of whenever you're not there, just, like, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, because she's gonna, she was she definitely, like, she used to mess with her. Anytime, any relationship you in, you have a certain element of a person that's just always kind of on your back a little bit. So
sure.
She was just on his back, like, that was, she had they had like 4 kids, maybe, I think 5. And so the kids were gone, they all grown. So that, there's that place you have to channel that energy. It's just, she was interesting. She was just, because I knew her since I was a kid. So I knew her young and I knew her older. You know what I mean? So she was just she was so intelligent, you couldn't tell her she was crazy because she was just so intelligent. Like,
she'll run laps around you by the time you finish the sentence.
Exactly. Just an incredible person, but who transitioned, mentally. So
So I imagine you were like, again, like you're kind of both glad and also like, what am I doing here? Because like you got out of the barbecue thing, like, well, these people are fucking nuts, And then you got in the other situation, you're like, all right, well, I can handle this for a while, and then eventually it was just like, I'm done with that too.
It's time to go. I can't lift. I used to lift rocks. These rocks I used to pick up were massive. I'm like, I gained some strength out of it. Man,
rocks aren't fun to pick up. I'm sure.
That's not a good time.
Nobody would say that they are.
Man, it's just not me. I'm glad that I did it and it wasn't somebody else who would have probably lost their mind because it just was.
You were just the Morty to the Rick in that situation.
Basically, exactly. I was just doing whatever it was told. It didn't matter. Came with a lot of rewards. She used to take me to Wendy's. She used to just buy me stuff.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I love Wendy's.
Yes. What?
I do too.
yeah. Wendy's is so good.
90s?
Wendy's does not get talked about enough in the hierarchy of fast food.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's actually good. Like you've been eating that. Whatever. I don't even know what McDonald's is.
And Wendy's also still has the courage to make their beefs like square. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's square. It's actually like when you bite into it, it's like, oh, this is real.
Something
like you ever eat like I ate some spicy nuggets a couple days ago. That was
from McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare they make those nuggets? It's deplorable.
I like the nuggets when this happens at McDonald's for sure, but I think it happens at Wendy's as well. When you get the nuggets and there's a gap between the skin and the actual content, it's almost like it was like a fried pocket that they put like a deposit.
Air bubble came out.
Yeah. Like a gusher, but the worst kind.
Yeah. That mass production. It just messed up the McNugget, bro.
Dude, like those McNuggets that come out looking like an exploded tire.
Yeah. It's just a chunk in it. It's just a big chunk.
Like half a toothpick in there.
Yeah, exactly. You eating it like, man, I really don't know what this is. I probably shouldn't be putting this in myself.
You do what you can. But I mean,
the spicy nuggets were so nasty they didn't even taste good in ranch.
Wow.
You know how ranch covers?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's
horrible. You're putting him in a flavor that is universally beloved, and you can't save it.
It was a bad situation. It was my late night snack because I was, when you eat late, you want to eat something good just because you just got that hankering,
Yeah, you want to eat trash.
Yeah, you're looking at it with lustful eyes.
I was. I thought it was gonna be good, man.
You're telling yourself a story about how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Never really pans out.
I was like, so
she took you to Wendy's. I mean,
she took me to Wendy's.
Arguably the primo of the primo.
And you made a good point. 90s Wendy's was so
good.
Yes. When it was really, really like good.
Yeah.
They used to have those silver wrappers.
Yeah.
Peel off and man. Yeah.
Like it's gonna keep it hot in there.
Dude. Yeah. I love those silver wrappers. Like they look like the T1000. It's like changing into, when he was. Oh man.
Yeah. They had the worst kids meals, but everything else.
But you didn't get that at Wendy's. I feel like even as a kid,
Frosty, my dude.
Yeah, exactly. And they had such good Frosties.
You ate like a grown up at Wendy's. That's why Wendy's is so good.
Yeah, because Wendy's looked at you and said, "No, you're a fucking man today." Yeah.
Don't get your kids nothing but what's on the real menu.
Yeah, it took that woman Wendy telling you were a man and saying, "Don't worry about my dad Dave in the back. You're with me."
Get a quarter pounder, son.
Yeah.
That's wild. So yeah, so she was good. You know, she was good. She was good. You know.
Mhm.
Well,
Sure.
well, Ricardo, we always make sure before we close the podcast to ask three questions to make sure we covered everything. So for the worst job, the question number one is, when were you done and how did you quit? Like, when did you say, I gotta leave this lady and or this situation? I don't know if you were still doing potatoes at that point, but like, when did you make the decision, and then when did you act? And then how did you actually get out?
I found out how much call center jobs paid versus what I was making, and I was
Sure.
like, wait a minute, this is a waste of my time. So
Right.
Oh,
I
this
got a
picking up
call.
rocks business.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what am I doing here?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got out of there, man. I just kind of left.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds.
This
like
is one of those
about right.
situations where
Yeah,
you can play that off pretty easy.
I just stopped showing up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was just like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I felt it. You know, I felt how good it felt to not go to work
Oh boy, yeah.
Mhm.
and stay home.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do this for the rest of the month.
And then I'm gonna get a call center job. Is that what
Yeah.
you've had a friend who worked there or something? Like some?
Mhm.
How did
Yeah,
you
I
hear
did.
about it?
He actually he had just newly been promoted, and I was just getting out of school. So he was like, well, if you ain't going to college, you might want to do this. I was like, cool. So I went ahead and got, I was 20. I was 18. I was 18. And yeah, it was, man, that job, I missed that job.
Okay, so you moved on to the call center. So the question number two is, what would you say is one good thing you took from that bad / transition to weird job?
I learned a lot. Like I learned a lot about just what was going on around me. Cause my mom kind of kept me in the house because I was, as I got my teenage years, because when I was young, I used to run the streets and do all kind of crazy stuff. So my mom kind of had to calm me down. So I had been inside for a nice amount of time. So that kind of really put me back into seeing what was really going on in the world around me. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good job. And I met some good people there. They were, even though they was functional drug addicts, they was good people, So
they were functional. Keyword.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So they were just. I mean, working in the food industry is rough, dog. Like you should do some drugs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't imagine being like a 5-star chef or something like that, or working in one of those real fancy restaurants. Like I would do heroin like that professor.
Well, they're all chain smoking.
Well,
like they're all stressed out as fuck.
If it's any consolation, they are doing heroin. I think.
Yeah.
Good.
For sure doing heroin. Those restaurants.
Good.
Okay, well then question number three, not related to that job, is we've been in a pandemic, a lot of dreams, aspirations, side hustles, et cetera, have been sidelined. How's that going for you? Any thoughts or observations? We're coming up on a year of this.
Whew. I mean, this was like, this taught me to not take anything for granted. It could disappear. You know what I'm saying? Like stand up. I think I had got to a point where I wasn't really as I would say diligent with stand up.
Okay.
Because I was just like, well, I was kind of not even knowing what I was talking about. So I kind of lost a little bit of love for it. But then like this, and then sitting here and going, man, I miss the stage.
Yeah.
Like I miss telling jokes. So that kind of it renewed stand up for me. It kind of renewed me, my love for it. You know what I mean? So that actually is the best thing I took from it. And then I was living with this lady who was really crazy and like would be arguing with her boyfriend all the time. So I got like an apartment out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like finally just like, I finally stopped living with people. So.
Yeah. Stop living with people. Huge level up in life.
Man, bro, it's like, my psyche is so much better from not like hearing "fuck you" at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I feel like pandemic is kind of like, I was telling someone about this recently. Like, I feel like the pandemic has been like, finally you understand why your grandma says all that stuff at Thanksgiving. Like, I'm just glad I'm healthy. Or, you know, like, yeah, me fucking too. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just glad to be here. You know?
Yeah. Just like, you're like, man, that's the dumbest thing to be thankful for. It's like, it's actually all you have. So
it's all we got right now.
Yeah.
Because people were dying. I mean, dying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people die. I mean, but it amazed me who didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what amazed me the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
nobody evil died. Nobody evil died.
Yeah. Dictator rules. Dictator always lives.
Hank Aaron died, dog.
Yeah.
And David Duke didn't even cough properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Damn.
Yeah. We did not like, we didn't get any home runs on the evil.
No,
not
it
even
was
one.
all savings, man.
Man. Well, yeah, agreed. Well, Ricardo, where can people find you on the internet if you'd like to be found?
Oh man, I'm at Father Flanagan on every social media. Ricardo Flanagan on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And on YouTube, type in Ricardo Flanagan, the Flanagan Network. I'm gonna start doing more on that. So tune into that.
And we'll have links to all that in the show notes as well.
Oh, everything. You'll find everything.
I'll find it all.
Everything.
Very diligent. Well, Ricardo, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been great.
Yeah, man. Glad to be here, man. I'll do this anytime.
Hell yeah. All right, well, fuck this place.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
If you enjoyed today's episode, you can always leave a review and rate us 5 stars. Hey, if you've got a write-in the hopper, I'm talking about Mallory, I'm talking about JJ, don't worry, we're going to get to them soon. Nick and I have been super busy with a totally different project that I'm sure you might like. I'm positive you might like it. Whatever. I promise those write-ins are coming. Thank you. Bye for now.